Thinking about this Diddy situation, I talked to a few people, and I seem to think that the reason why their groups are so close is because all of them have a certain type of STD. I think they all got the alphabet. Now, bear with me, guys, because I'm not even trying to cap. I looked at it like this. You know they're not using condoms, right? So if you're in a party not using condoms, it ain't like you could catch something twice, right? So if you already got something, ain't like you can catch it again. So I believe, one of my theories is that these people at these Diddy parties were so close because they all had STDs. And so therefore all the super freaky stuff, it ain't like you could catch something twice. So almost like having a disease is a rite of passage for that group. You understand what I'm saying?
What if the story we thought we knew about one of the most iconic athletes in history wasn't the full story at all? Because now new allegations are surfacing, ones that tie Magic Johnson's life-changing HIV diagnosis to none other than Sean Diddy Combs. And if what's being said is even half true, this could completely rewrite decades of Hollywood history and shed light on the secret world of fame, power, and silence that's been hidden for years. So, sit tight, because today, we're diving deep into the shocking rumors, the mysterious connections, and the voices who claim to know what really happened behind closed doors. In 2025, the internet exploded when whispers began circulating that Magic Johnson himself may have privately confirmed something shocking, that Diddy was allegedly involved in the chain of events that led to his HIV infection decades ago. According to online reports, Magic was supposedly part of what insiders are calling Diddy's infamous freakoffs, secretive exclusive parties that allegedly blurred every line between pleasure, power, and manipulation. The claim? These were not your typical celebrity parties. They were said to involve extreme explicit behavior, with both men and women in environments where privacy was absolute and reputations were on the line. And here's where things take an even darker turn. Sources allege that during this time, Magic contracted HIV through one of these encounters, but chose silence. He supposedly stayed quiet to protect his career, his endorsements, and the pristine image of the NBA's golden boy. If true, that would mean that one of the most publicized health revelations in history might have hidden a powerful, unseen player behind the scenes. Diddy himself. But where did these rumors start? That's where Jaguar Wright enters the picture, a name that's been causing shockwaves through the industry for years. Wright, a singer and outspoken critic of the entertainment world, has become infamous for her explosive interviews, claiming to expose hidden truths about music moguls and celebrities. And this time, she's back, with allegations that could ignite an entirely new storm. According to Wright, she heard the information directly from someone in Magic Johnson's circle. She claims this insider told her that Magic eventually realized the danger of being around Diddy's world and cut all ties with him after his diagnosis. In her own words, Wright says she respects Magic for walking away when he realized who Diddy really was. But she doesn't stop there. Wright goes further, praising Magic for using his platform, after his diagnosis, to uplift the Black community, to turn his pain into purpose instead of getting caught up in the darkness she believes Diddy still represents. Section 3. What makes this story different? Now, of course, we've heard wild stories about Diddy before, from industry feuds to accusations of control, manipulation, and even violence. But this crosses into something far more personal and potentially devastating. Because if these claims were ever confirmed, it would connect one of the most powerful moguls in music with one of the most tragic health crises in sports history. And that's why this story is hitting so hard online. It's not just about gossip. It's about the possibility that Hollywood's glossy image has been hiding a network of secret indulgences and dangerous power dynamics for decades. Skeptics point out that Jaguar Wright has made controversial claims in the past, many of which were never proven. Some say she thrives on controversy, and that her statements are meant to go viral rather than to reveal truth. But others argue that her consistency, the way she's told similar stories about Diddy, Usher, Clive Davis, and other industry giants, suggests that at least some of what she says comes from real insider whispers. Social media is split right down the middle. Some believe Wright completely, pointing to the long list of former associates who've mysteriously distanced themselves from Diddy. Others demand proof and question why. After all these years, this is only coming out now. What makes all of this even more unsettling is Diddy's silence. Despite all the chaos, lawsuits and resurfaced footage painting him in a darker light, he has remained relatively quiet, offering little beyond denial or silence. For some, that silence speaks volumes. For others, it's simply the move of a man used to letting his lawyers and PR team handle the noise. But when your name starts being linked to Magic Johnson's HIV diagnosis, one of the most emotional stories in modern sports, silence might not be enough anymore. Whether these claims turn out to be true or not, they raise uncomfortable questions about what really goes on at the top levels of fame and influence. What deals get made behind closed doors? What secrets are traded to protect reputations? And how much truth gets buried under NDAs, hush money, and fear? Because in this case, we're not just talking about a celebrity rumor, we're talking about the rewriting of a major chapter in cultural history. And for the millions who grew up admiring both Diddy and Magic Johnson, this is more than gossip, it's betrayal, it's shock, and it's confusion all rolled into one. Before these new allegations, the world knew a very different version of Magic Johnson's story. Back in 1991, Magic shocked the world when he publicly announced he had contracted HIV. At the time, he said it came from unprotected sex with multiple women, a claim that surfaced just 6 weeks after he married his wife, Cookie Johnson, who was pregnant with their first child. The news was devastating, not just because of who Magic was, but because of what HIV meant in that era. In the early 90s, the disease carried a massive stigma. It was widely, and wrongly, seen as something that only affected gay men or drug users. Magic's announcement shattered that narrative. His image as a married heterosexual sports hero helped shift the public perception of HIV, turning him into both a survivor and a symbol of awareness. And while his marriage to Cookie became a story of loyalty and love, many now wonder if it also served another purpose. One that protected his reputation while hiding truths the world wasn't ready to hear. The story then takes a darker turn, one that pulls another major name into the picture, Usher. Long before he became an R&B superstar, Usher was just a young teenager trying to make it in the music industry. And according to multiple reports, during that time, he actually lived with Diddy. At first glance, it looked like a mentorship, a chance for a young artist to learn from one of the biggest producers in the game. But over the years, Usher's own words have painted a much more disturbing picture. In old interviews, he's talked about how Diddy's house was filled with non-stop parties, constant chaos, and most shockingly, adult behavior everywhere. For a teenager, it was wild exposure, things no kid should ever see, let alone be part of, but the new allegations go even further. According to a leaked email, allegedly connected to Kim Porter's unpublished book, Diddy didn't just let Usher witness that world. He allegedly pulled him into it. The email claims Diddy coerced Usher into sexual acts, and worse, that he transmitted an STD to him. And that's where things start to line up with real-life events. Because in 2017, a woman filed a lawsuit against Usher, accusing him of giving her herpes. The video connects the dots, suggesting that Diddy could have been the original source of that infection, linking both stories into one chilling chain of abuse and power. This section paints Diddy as a manipulative figure, someone who allegedly preyed on young artists, blurring the lines between mentorship and exploitation, between fame and trauma. And if these claims are true, they don't just expose a pattern, they expose an entire system built on silence, control, and fear. Just when you think the story couldn't get any wilder, Jaguar Wright takes it even further. In the next part of her claims, she doesn't just focus on Diddy, she points a finger at the entire industry. According to Wright, there are at least 20 other celebrities secretly living with HIV or other sexually transmitted diseases, and she alleges that many of them were exposed during Diddy's infamous freakoff parties. But when pressed for names, Wright refuses to reveal them, saying only that she'll expose more on her own platform, The Jaguar Wright Show. That promise alone has fans watching closely, waiting to see what or who she reveals next. Then, she shifts the target completely. Wright claims that Jay-Z himself is secretly setting Diddy up, supposedly working with authorities behind the scenes to redirect attention away from his own alleged crimes and protect his empire. And it doesn't stop there. She weaves a massive web of names: Stevie J, Mary J, Blige, Jennifer Lopez, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, Usher, even Justin Bieber, all allegedly connected in some way to Diddy's world of silence and corruption. According to her, every one of them either played a role or turned a blind eye. It's an explosive mix of accusation, conspiracy, and power, painting Hollywood as a system built on secrets, with the biggest stars protecting each other to keep the truth buried. And if even a fraction of what she's saying turns out to be true, this could become one of the biggest scandals in entertainment history. As the story comes full circle, the video draws a striking contrast between Magic Johnson and Diddy, two men whose names are now being spoken in the same breath, but for completely different reasons. Magic Johnson is portrayed as the redemptive figure, a man who faced his illness head-on, who turned one of the most devastating diagnoses imaginable into a story of hope, leadership, and education. He used his platform to uplift others, to build awareness, and to show that HIV didn't have to be a death sentence. Meanwhile, Diddy is framed as his opposite, a figure of danger, power, and denial. Where Magic used his influence to heal, Diddy is accused of using his to harm. The video claims there's a disturbing pattern, one where Diddy allegedly infected others and then kept them silent through fear, intimidation, or manipulation. It's a chilling parallel, light versus darkness, redemption versus corruption, and as more names, stories, and voices begin to surface, the video suggests that Diddy's empire may finally be crumbling from the inside out. That the truth, no matter how deeply buried, is starting to find its way to the surface. Then comes the question that stops viewers in their tracks. Did Magic Johnson truly have deeper ties to this hidden world? Was there more to his story than the one we've been told for decades? Or is this all part of a larger web of lies, revenge, and conspiracy meant to take down one of music's most powerful moguls? No matter where you stand on all this, whether you think it's truth finally being exposed or just another round of industry rumors, one thing's for sure: this story is far from over. Every week, new claims, new witnesses, and new pieces of the puzzle seem to surface. And the deeper people dig, the darker it gets. So here's the question only you can answer. Do you believe Diddy's empire is finally collapsing under the weight of its own secrets? Or are these stories part of a bigger game? A distraction meant to protect others hiding in the shadows? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because I read every single one of them, and I want to know where you stand. And if you want to stay ahead of every twist, every leak, and every shocking revelation still to come, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because you won't want to miss what happens next.